and welcome back to my actual Mer-Man Mondo review. This is the Mondo 1/6 scale figure. This is the exclusive version. The exclusive version comes with this head, and the regular version comes with this standard head and the vintage head, and it comes with all these weapons as well. So yeah, and this is still available now on the Mondo store, so go to mondotees.com to pick up your Mer-Man. He is sweet. I'm absolutely loving it. Now, as you know, I was like really dying for a kind of a newer Mondo figure because it's been all a bit blue and Skeletor orientated over the last year or so, really, essentially, because we've had He-Man and we've had Skeletor here, but then we got Faker and then we got Scareglow. While they're all amazing figures, and I love Faker is an amazing figure. I love Faker. Well, it's great. I was really dying for something, a bit of contrast, and thankfully now we have Mer-Man, and he's full of contrast. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm absolutely in love with this figure. Stunning looking figure, stunning looking design, designed by Emiliano Santalucia and Joe Alucard. Alucard. How was it again? Alucard. Joe. Sorry, Joe, I'm butchering your name there. But there you go. And as a result, you kind of get two kind of head designs as well with them. And I believe, while it's not credited on the thing, I believe this is based on a Dave Raposa piece of art. If you go on Dave Raposa is one of Dave Raposa is one of the most amazing artists out there. He's really great stuff, and that's a very nice Dave Raposa head. This is the standard head, and this is very nice. This is designed by Emiliano Santalucia. And first out the door, people are going to ask, "Hey, Eamon, which do you prefer?" So let's swap them out. Bearing in mind, I've had to sit on this figure now for a week, so I've had them out and displayed them for a good few days with this head, and I've displayed them for a good few days with this head. And I have a conclusion, and I did come to a conclusion, so I'm just going to pop his head off. Comes off quite easily. Goes on pretty easily as well. Oh, separate little neck piece there as well, so you just want to watch that. And just... There you go, he's on there now. And now you can see him with the other head. Now, oh, I didn't get that head on properly. There we go, sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Of course, both hands open on the thing. Right? And that's quickly showing you one of my issues with the figure, which seems to be an ongoing thing with some of the Mondos, but I'll get onto that later. It's not a major thing, but it's just a thing worth mentioning. Now, there you go. You can see that there now. That head looks absolutely dope as well. And I gotta say, I was like, which one am I going to display him with? I really don't know. I have to say, after having him out, I think I've actually ended up preferring the original head that comes with it. Simply because I just feel that this one... Simply because I just feel this one is more Mer-Man. This is far more threatening, but I actually think he's a little too threatening. I think these are a little too much on there. I think they're a little bit too pronounced, and it ends up making him like he's seriously aggressive. Like, he's more monster. He doesn't look intelligent. He looks like a monster here. And for me here, this guy looks like he's got some sort of intelligence on him, even though he's got his big old bug eyes and stuff like that, and he's much more fish-like. So yeah, it's really horses for courses. I dare say some people will really like this head because it is more aggressive. That is cool. It's cool. I also feel the head's quite big on there as well. There's something about the spacing when this head is on that I quite like, but let's pop it back on. And again, you can see that the mouth opens and stuff like that. And look at the details on there as well. Both heads are amazing. Both heads are amazing. And again, this head only comes with the Mondo store exclusive that you can only get exclusively on the mondotees.com. Everywhere else will come with the standard heads. But for those of you who don't like buying the exclusives or anything like that, you are going to be fine with this head, because I actually prefer this head. There's just something about the way it frames the head that I just quite like in there. Yeah, you could kill Mer-Man by just slapping his head against his own spikes, which is a bit impractical. But, I guess he's maybe more of a crustacean. And he is designed on the back of it to be more like a crustacean as well. So I guess if you did slam his face into his armor, or he accidentally laughed, like that poor girl in the news lately, he's not going to impale himself on his own helmet, is he? Right, so back on the rest of it. It's the standard articulation that you get with all these Mondo figures. I haven't quite been able to get the torso to actually articulate, but maybe it doesn't because... This is quite thick and heavy. In terms of design, I really like the design. I just think it's a little overbaked. Everything is very big on him. If you look him alongside Skeletor, put him alongside Skeletor. Yeah, you can see that he's quite substantially more. There's a lot more mass. Now his armor is a lot bigger and things like that, but I just feel some elements of the armor could have been a little like this is a little bit unnecessarily big. These flay out unnecessarily a little bit too much. This is all great design. I love the design, but just for my own personal taste, things could have just been just toned down just a little bit. Saying all that, it's awesome. I'm not going to complain. It's big, it's mean, it's badass. And if you look at Man-at-Arms as well coming out, he's following along the same sort of design kind of aesthetics as well, where it's big kind of design stuff going on. Right, so let's see. Right, well, it comes with a spear, lovely spear of Bakul, and all the rest of it. It comes with a lovely corn on the cob sword. It's not the corn on the cob sword. How vicious is that? I mean, that's really vicious. And that's like for all of you 2000 AD fans, this is like the gay bulga that Shlanya, the horned god, used to use, which is an old Celtic weapon that no wound could recover from. You're not recovering from any wound inflicted by that thing, I'll tell you. And he comes with a cool little blaster, which is, I do like these little blasters that come with him. And he comes with a plethora of hands, you know, and lovely webbing on the hands too. All the webbing on the hands too is very nice. Really, really, really nice stuff. Nice kind of grabby hand and stuff like that. I always remember James Etoch's description of Mer-Man, that he's the kind of dude that calls victory or announces victory before it actually even happens, and then he'll get whooped. Comes with all these lovely hands. There you go, all the hands. And if you want to do them in kind of a swimmy mode, your stand, which we'll get on about in a sec, the stand doesn't really allow for you to do any kind of swimmy poses, so I'm not sure how we're supposed to do that, but I guess maybe if you've got maybe some of those nice imported Japanese stands that do flights and stuff, you can have them doing a little bit of swimming and swimming. But it's really nice to have that. And yes, these feet are different to Skeletor's. Again, if you put them alongside each other, Skeletor's feet are definitely not the same. They're two different feet. I really like that. I really like that when there's an opportunity to have something different, because, you know, we're used, for those of us who like Masters Universe Classics, we're used to seeing sort of the same things being reused. But it's really nice here to see different feet and things like that. Absolutely awesome. Oh, I guess you'll all want to see what it looks like with his vintage head as well too on. Okay, let's do that then, because I know some people were asking about that. There's the headpiece. Oh, I got like Earl Mer-Man. Oh, there we go. There you go. It's a bit, it's okay. It's just a little insubstantial looking on there. It's like what I call the cat head Mer-Man. I never understood why the Mer-Man figure and the Mer-Man card back were so totally the same. And this is why I love this head, because it's more reminiscent of the original card back Mer-Man and indeed the classics Mer-Man. I mean, he's very fish-like. I would have said maybe slightly more aggression on the mouth and bigger teeth, but I know exactly what I was trying to be going for. We're going for a very kind of a fishy, natural look here, and I dig it. So there you go. But we're going to put this other head back on. Oops. And the heads are relatively easy to pop off. Relatively. That one pops on easily. Now, so I've raved about this thing enough, and let's go on to the things that I don't quite like. These are minor, but they are still things that I kind of always kind of irksome. We have the same problem as we had with Skeletor, in that, again, they come with very heavy weapons where the wrists just aren't quite strong enough to hold it. And I don't like that. I hate that. I hate loose things. You know, some of my Hot Toys Aquaman knows I like my figures to do what they're supposed to do. I do really don't like things like that. I also think his ankles are a little bit light as well, because I was able to put Skeletor into some pretty dynamic poses without the stand. And this guy, he's a little bit harder to get into stand. These are small things, and this could be just my one as well. Other people may have stiffer joints on theirs. But on my one, I just feel that some of the joints are just a little bit loose. And also as well on the hands as well, like on the upper shoulders. Now this is the thing with my Skeletor doesn't do this either. These are heavy, so I'm not sure whether I wouldn't like these to be any less heavy. To be honest with you, they're quite nice. It adds a certain level of weight to the figures, but you know, he doesn't quite hold the staff up as much as I would like. So if I want to do certain kinds of poses, that's just a little irksome. That's an engineering thing, and I would like Mondo to maybe address these kinds of things going forward. Either put a couple little nubbins in there for a little ratchety kind of action, or something. Because the elbows are always fine, and everything else seems fine. But look, it's doing that thing where with Skeletor, where just the weapon is a bit too heavy, and the wrist engineering isn't quite tight enough. That is one little issue. Also as well, this cradle. Again, I'm not big on these Mondo stands. I like the artwork on the bottom. They serve the purpose, but that's not gripping him very well. And my Mer-Man, unfortunately, need to be more of a loop to kind of catch it. Plus also, well, it's not a very wide stand, and I think for Master Universe we could have had something a little bit wider, because I like my characters to be in a wider stand, and it's just things get very awkward when you start putting feet off the stand and things start leaning forward and things. So it's just that kind of playable aspect that I find a little irksome with some of the Mondos. This does not detract from the overall awesomeness of these Mondos. I'm loving them. And if this was an issue that would stop, this is not something that takes away from the awesomeness of these figures in any way, shape, or form, but it is just something I would like to see. It's like Man-at-Arms now is going to have a really heavy shield, and he's probably going to have a heavy blaster and a heavy mace. I want him to be able to hold that arm out straight, because as it is, it's very hard for me to have Mer-Man with his hand out straight like that, and it just hold it, because look, it's just dying to flip over. But Skeletor did this too. It's beautifully designed. It's beautifully detailed. Look at all these. And nothing's different. Nothing's the same. So there's no copy and paste. It's all different on either side. So it is. You can get different coral here. A couple little coral bits there. Not coral, but barnacles. Barnacles, aren't they? I love these. And I love how these are ununiform as well. I love how some are kind of like in the front. And I love how some are in the back. These are a nice touch. It's a very little nice nod to the old Mark Taylor design. What else have I got to say about this? The design of his trident, I'm not big on. I like it. This is a nice touch, but I don't like this bit. I know it's kind of a crab thing and stuff like that, and I would argue that if you're an undersea warlord, you're going to be able to build stuff a little bit. But I like the idea behind this. But I mean, honest to God, I am nitpicking here, because I don't want to be one of those reviewers that just gushes over a figure and tells you it's awesome. It is awesome, but for the sake of balance, I got to put a couple little negative things in there, right? Either way, you're good with this guy. I cannot recommend this Mer-Man enough. I've put the unboxing video out, and I've seen comments all over the internet, and I've yet to see one person say anything negative about this figure. Everyone seems to universally out the door. Most people like Skeletor, some people didn't. Most people like Faker, some people didn't. Many people didn't like He-Man, and I only saw a handful of people liking the He-Man. But everybody and their dog seems to really love this Mer-Man design, and I can see why, because it's just big, it's aggressive, it's bold, it's awesome. He's got lovely matte finish to his skin as well. I do love the paint job on these. And again, they're weighty, solid figures. Anything else we need to discuss there? Oh yeah, cool Aquaman little shorts there and stuff like that. So it's very nice. And again, really nice details on the back. You know, again, look, there's a barnacle there. There's no barnacle there. And it's like, you know, there's no duplicating of anything. Everything's a little different and stuff. Even the sides here of everything are different. No barnacles, not barnacles there. This is a little stiff, so this will prevent any major upward action. So I feel that should have been a bit softer. I feel they're also a little bit big as well. Again, they added a kind of slightly more bulky look to them. But I know some people absolutely love that kind of more bulky look. I'm cool with it. I would just like things just reined in just a little bit if it were me. But that's just my designer head coming out there a little bit. It's an awesome figure, guys. You are going to be happy with him. Go get him. He's on the Mondo, mondotees.com right now. And let's just get him alongside Skeletor and Faker, so you can kind of see. I didn't bother busting out Scarecrow. He's only at the table here. Because I just kind of, I liked having the original crooks. For me, Scarecrow is kind of a more modern creation. All right, let's just take all these away. And again, all the weapons and hands you get when you get lots of accessories with him and stuff like that. It seems like, you know, they really kind of honed down on the accessories of this guy and opted not to give us something kind of silly like a Burby or something like that. Which we like, but given the opportunity, when there's a budget and plastic, we prefer getting stuff like blasters and extra heads and extra hands and things like that. But look at him. Now you put him alongside Skeletor. There you go. I mean, there's your evil warriors right there. And if you want to, you know, if you don't want to go too mad on the blue, you can drop in Faker. And I love Faker. Faker, I don't know if Faker's still available in the store or not. But I absolutely love it. If you've missed out on Faker, I cannot recommend him enough. But there you go. I mean, actually, maybe put Skeletor in the middle. And no, we put Skeletor. There we go. My OCD kicking in there. But there you go. I mean, come on. They look absolutely brilliant. You will notice, though, that he is a little bit bigger. And like, whoa, he's much more louder. But I'm thinking once Man-at-Arms kind of comes in, it's going to balance everything out. And on the shelf then, when you've got He-Man and Man-at-Arms, because probably He-Man's on his own now. We've got 4 Evo Warriors if you include Scareglow. And He-Man's going to be on his own. So we need Man-at-Arms to back him up now, old Man-at-Arms. So I'm really looking forward to that. He should be out relatively soon as well. I do believe Brock was saying that it's not going to be one of those things he's going to come in and you can just buy him straight away. So whatever they've done there, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll be in the next couple of months. I'm really excited for Man-at-Arms, and I will probably be back here doing a review for Man-at-Arms. But there you go. That's Mer-Man. I think he's great. I cannot recommend him enough. Mondo 1/6 scale Mer-Man action figure. Go get him now from the Mondo T store. I shall see all y'all on the next Mondo review. Goodbye. And as Mer-Man would say, ow. Oh no, wait. Oh, and then there's 2002 Mer-Man. There you go. That's the one.